And I find that it's a dream for me to be able to be in the Porsche Museum with the leaders of the automotive industry, of European manufacturers, the executive roundtable. It's impressive for me to be with all of you. Thank you very much, Dieter Becker, for allowing me to come back again to Europe and share a few thoughts on the only thing that I know to do, which is to promote cultural understanding between my country, India, and the rest of the world. So I'm going to try to share in my talk 3 pieces: knowing India, business with Indians, and a few cross-cultural insights. So whatever you say of India, the opposite is also true. This is a line you must always remember when you come to India. See how many things there are on the road just outside my house. We have the fancy cars, but then we also have the bicycle. You've seen this on the streets in India, right? And we will have a ceremony where we will actually pray to these cars and to the laptops and all the tools of our trade. So when you say India is modern, India is also traditional. India is manual, India is also super technically savvy. So those are the opposites. And I'm sorry Dr. Betts left, but I even had we had a test drive with an Aston Martin a week ago. So even Aston Martins have arrived in our country. But this image is interesting. See how India moves. When you visited India, how many people saw an overcrowded bus like this? Many, right? How many can you fit on an Indian bus? How many people can you fit in an Indian bus? The answer is always one more. We always have room for one more. As a country, we are politically one, but as a culture, we are a whole subcontinent. That's what we have to try to understand. And I'll try to show you that through showing you some names of people. So if you would take one moment to look up here, there are these 4 states in India that I've outlined. One is the state of Tamil Nadu, which is in the south. Then there's the state of Punjab, which is in the north. Kerala, which is a coastal state. And Maharashtra, the capital of which is Mumbai. So the names that you see on these states, Shanti Krishna Murthy, we can tell by her name that she comes only from Tamil Nadu. And when we hear 2 names, so for example, if you take the name, say Sita and Harpreet, 2 women names, we can tell that they will celebrate festivals differently. Just by hearing the name, we can tell that they will go to different temples and that their worship will be different. By hearing 2 people's names, we can tell what kinds of dress they will wear. So what I'm wearing is a sari. This is a long piece of cloth. How many of you have seen a sari unraveled? Have you? I'm not planning to unravel mine. I brought a special one to show you. Because unraveling India is like unraveling a sari. Can I have a volunteer? Who can volunteer? Unravel. Thank you. So if you would be so kind, Oliver, to take that edge and go as far as it goes. Bye. Keep going. That's how much of fabric there is on a sari. That's 6 yards, 5.5 meters. And that's what I've turned around me all over. But now, the unraveling of the sari will be the unraveling of India. Wow, you're good at this. You should move to India. Thank you, Oliver. And so we can tell how they get married. Even the marriages are different in the north and in the south. And you know what? By hearing the name, we can even tell what they ate for breakfast. It's that much of meaning hidden inside a name. You know, there are 262 babies born in the world every minute. Out of them, Can you guess how many are born in India? 51. 51. And 28 is the next one, and that's from China. 28 babies are born in China per minute, and in India 51. And out of the 51, 11 are born in a state called Uttar Pradesh, which is in the north, which is Hindi speaking. And then you can't find another country that lives with such a lot of religious tolerance. We have a huge amount of religious diversity, but we tolerate it and we accept other faiths very warmly. So there has been a huge acceptance and tolerance in India. And one of the stories is the story of our leaders. So this is Sonia Gandhi, and she's the head of the ruling party of India, the Congress, right? So she gave Manmohan Singh the seat to be the Prime Minister, though her party won. And he is Sikh. Sikhs wear a turban like that. Okay, and he's the 2% of India. He's a tiny minority. And then this Muslim president was Abdul Kalam, was the one who swore in Manmohan Singh, given in by a Christian woman, to rule a country that's 80% Hindu. So that's complete tolerance, right? Let's talk about doing business with Indians. So this is the reason that the world is coming to India, right? We have a wealthy and middle class, we have the English-speaking 350 million, we have the young population. What is the average age of Germany, of Germans? 42. Do you know what the average age of India is? Almost the opposite, 25. 25. So we have a very young population. We have lots more of the youth. While the world is growing older, India is going to continue to have consumers and workforce for many years to come. And that's why this is the right time to be in India. The time difference advantage is while you sleep, we can work. And that has been always helpful. And then we are adaptable. We can be taught to upskill ourselves. We're intellectually agile. We have lots of engineers and doctors and educated people. And that's the reason that the world needs India. But you know what? All these same advantages can also be disadvantages. And this is where I wanted to show you the challenges to overcome through businesses that have worked in India. So if you look at the rich versus poor, the divide is immense, right? So the Porsche Cayenne S that we have, the petrol that we fill in that car, 2 days worth of petrol is the salary of the driver that drives the car. I picked up a few business tips from leaders. It's fine to come in on your own, even if you don't want a joint venture, as you know. BMW is on its own, Daimler is coming on its own, Ford is on its own, but an Indian expert advisor is a must, because he can tell you the strategy and you can negotiate through him with the government or with the people. Last month with Michelin tires, we had a problem where the CEO, who's French, he himself went to the villages to discuss the problem with the villagers. And this was seen as a weakness, and he couldn't get the response that he wanted. It would have been much better to have had an Indian expert advisor come and mediate between the Indians and the French in this case. As for government, we only in the beginning have problems of bureaucracy. After that, it's not like other states. This is a democracy and the government lets the MNCs carry on with their business. You can check with most clients that have been in that area in India and they'll tell you that. Yes, infrastructure is a challenge, but recently the government has made lots of efforts to be able to put money into the right hands. And when the wrong hands have got the money, we've got a huge anti-corruption act. But I just wanted to share one or two leaders' comments. I spoke to a few CEOs before I came, and this Spanish CEO client of ours from Roca was saying how no matter what you do, be prepared for attrition. Because in Germany, I think maybe what do you have as attrition? Is it 10% or even less? People leaving a company. People stay in companies for 10 years and 12 years. Look at the CEO of Aston Martin. In India, people move jobs all the time. So don't be surprised that we leave in an economy which is got so many opportunities, the chances are high that we will, people will jump companies. So being able to give us, make yourself prepared is what Emilio suggests, so that you have someone else internally being able to take the job, or having people what we call sitting on a bench, ready to take a job in case somebody quits.